Terry Schilling, president of the American Principles Project, and Mark Kaye, host of the Mark Kaye Show. All right, Mark, I just can't get over how just the government doesn't work for us anymore.
No, they don't. And this is the first time you're ever going to hear the words appealing and Jack Smith in the same sentence, by the way. I don't know who is he appealing to? James Madison? I mean, the Constitution, as you pointed out, does not allow for his job to even exist. This is typical MO for the Biden administration. You remember, of course, the landlord moratorium on evictions that was illegally done by the CDC. The Supreme Court had to say, hey, stop that. And they kind of did. Then he wanted to pay off everyone's students' loans. And that was also, kind of illegal and unconstitutional. So whenever they need something done that the Constitution doesn't allow, they just do it anyway, and they wait for the judicial process to slap their hands, and that's what's happening here.
But Terry, the problem is it's like there's just no checks and balances, and the check and balances that's supposed to be in place, like, I don't know, Congress for this stuff, they just stonewall them like, yeah, we're not giving you those tapes, and nothing happens.
Well, Carl, there's something very big that's about to happen, and it's called November is coming, right? The American people are the ultimate check and balance here, and that's what the Democrats aren't factoring, but that's what Donald Trump's banking on, right? And if you look at the Real Clear Politics average for national polling right now, Donald Trump has a 2.5-point lead, even after this onslaught of nonstop negative media coverage that Donald Trump has had over the past 10 years. The American people are wising up to this, and they're the ultimate check and balance on it.
Yeah. But Mark, you know, this New Jersey Senator Robert Menendez, he was a real gem. He's just found guilty on 16 federal charges of corruption, and he's appealing it too. Take a listen to this.
I have every faith that the law and the facts did not sustain that decision, and that we will be successful upon appeal. I have never violated my public oath. I have never been anything but a patriot of my country and for my country.
Yeah, says that guy. There were gold bars given to him by like foreign leaders while he was on the Foreign Relations Committee.
I mean, this is an interesting situation because here you have a Democrat who is now convicted, still sitting in the Senate, when we have congressional Republicans who are thrown out just because they got a bad report card from the Ethics Committee. Look, we've got a razor-thin majority, razor-thin minority, or the Democrats have a razor-thin majority in the Senate, and of course the Republicans in the House. So they're going to probably try to keep this seat as long as possible. But it is amazing how Donald Trump can be convicted or indicted on 91 counts of things he never even did, and this guy was proven guilty but still denies it, and no one really seems to care.
But Terry, even Cory Booker of all people, fellow senator, is like, I'm going to do everything I can to get this guy out of here.
No, look, you're seeing Democrats being very scared right now. I call it cornered rat syndrome, right? They are very afraid of losing power. And don't forget, I mean, it's very risky for Cory Booker to be calling for this because every single election for the past 5 or 6 years has gotten closer and closer in New Jersey. It is no longer a deep blue state. It's getting more purple, and eventually it's going to become red. We barely lost the last statewide election there.
Yeah, and by the way, to that point, Donald Trump did just assemble like over 100,000 people in what is allegedly a deep blue state. Real quick, Mark Kaye, before we go, you have any thoughts on what we're going to come out as a Republican Party out of this? Do you think enough people are just going to say, you know what, Trump is the man, we're going to follow him to the edge of the cliff, or do you think you're still going to have the whisper campaigns?
I think you've got Donald Trump in a pretty comfortable position going into November. Of course, the Senate and the House are what we're talking about. Earlier today on my show, I interviewed Representative Kat Kamek, and she said, in 2022, we were all into this red wave talk, and that just didn't materialize. So I think people are downplaying a little bit, but here at the RNC, there is a cool underlying confidence that the Republicans will be in control come next year.
There you have it. Terry Schilling, Mark Kaye, appreciate you stopping by.
Thanks,
all right. Well, we announced